before Lamine Yamal, before Pedri, before Ansu Fati. Barcelona believed they had already found the next player who would define an era. His name was Bojan Krkić. As a teenager, he did something almost impossible. Imagine carrying the expectations of millions before you become an adult. For most young footballers, becoming the next Lionel Messi sounds like the greatest compliment imaginable. For Bojan, it became the beginning of a nightmare. The world saw a fearless wonder kid. Barcelona saw the future. The media saw the next global superstar. But behind every comparison pushed him further away from simply being Bojan. Years later, people would ask the same question. How could a player with so much talent disappear? Was he not good enough? Did he stop working? Or was there a much deeper reason that football completely failed to understand? Because this isn't the story of a player who wasted his talent. To go back to La Masia, where a quiet kid from Catalonia was breaking every record that Lionel Messi had left behind. Bojan Krkić joined Barcelona's academy when he was only 9 years old. From the beginning, he looked different. He was smaller than many of the other boys, but faster in thought, sharper in movement, and almost impossible to stop inside the box. Season after season, the goals kept coming. Hundreds of them. By the time he moved through La Masia's youth teams, stories were spreading that Bojan had scored more than 800 goals across the academy levels. The exact number mattered less than what everyone inside Barcelona believed. This was not just another talent came from Catalonia. He grew up close to the club, close to the culture, and close to a dream that suddenly became real much faster than anyone expected. In 2007, at just 17 years old, Bojan made his first team debut for Barcelona. Soon after, he scored his first league goal against Villarreal, becoming Barcelona's youngest La Liga goal scorer at the time and breaking a record previously held by Lionel Messi. For a teenager, it should have been the perfect beginning. He was playing beside Ronaldinho, Xavi, Andres Iniesta, and Messi. He was scoring in front of nearly 100,000 people. He was wearing the shirt he had dreamed about since childhood, and unlike many wonder kids, Bojan was not surviving on hype alone. He was producing. He scored important goals, earned regular minutes, and finished his first senior season with a remarkable return for someone so young. Barcelona had found another homegrown star, but that success created a dangerous illusion. Because when a 17-year-old makes everything look easy, people forget that he is still 17. The headlines became bigger, the comparisons became louder, and the name Lionel Messi appeared beside Bojan's in almost every conversation. At first it sounded like praise, soon it would become a prison, because while Bojan was trying to build his own career, the world had already decided who he was supposed to become. For a while, everything happened exactly the way people had predicted. Bojan wasn't just surviving at Barcelona, he was thriving. He scored goal louder. The next Messi, the future of Barcelona, the next Ballon d'Or. To the outside world, it sounded like the greatest compliment a young player could receive, but inside Bojan's mind, those words slowly became impossible to escape. At 17, most teenagers are still discovering who they are. Bojan was expected to become one of the greatest footballers on earth. Every missed chance became front-page news. Every quiet game was called a disappointment, and every performance was measured against Lionel Messi, the greatest player Barcelona had ever seen. Then came 2008. Spain were preparing for the European Championship. Bojan had earned his place. But just before the tournament, he made a shocking decision. He withdrew from the squad. Many people believed he was afraid. Others accused him of lacking ambition. The truth was something almost nobody knew. Behind the smile, Bojan was suffering from severe anxiety and panic attacks. The pressure had become overwhelming. He wasn't fighting defenders anymore. He was fighting his own mind. For years, he kept that battle hidden from the world. Because football celebrated strength, but rarely understood vulnerability. And while Lionel Messi was beginning to dominate world football, Bojan's dream was quietly starting to slip away. The hardest part of his journey had only just begun. Leaving Barcelona was supposed to save Bojan Krkić. Instead, it only proved that you can't escape a label the whole world refuses to let go. In 2011, Barcelona sold him to AS Roma. For the first time in years, Bojan had a chance to start over. A new country, a new league, a new beginning. But wherever he went, the same question followed him. Is this finally the season the next Messi lives up to the hype? At Roma, flashes of his brilliance returned. Then came AC Milan, Ajax, Stoke City, Mainz, Alaves, CF Montreal, Vissel Kobe, club after club, country after country. Every transfer carried the same promise. Maybe this time, maybe here, maybe now. the truth was far more painful. Bojan was never a bad footballer. He played hundreds of professional matches. He won trophies. He scored important goals. Most players would have been proud of a career like his. But Bojan wasn't being compared to most players. He was being compared to Lionel Messi. And against that impossible standard, no one could win. While fans called him football's biggest failed wonderkid, almost nobody understood what he had been carrying inside for years. Eventually, Bojan decided it was time to tell the world the truth, and that truth would completely change the way people looked at his career. For years, people called Bojan Krkić one of football's biggest disappointments. Then, Bojan finally told his side of the story. After retiring, he openly revealed the battle he had hidden since he was a teenager: the panic attacks, the anxiety, the constant fear of failing millions of people who expected him to become the next Lionel Messi. He admitted there were days when simply walking onto the pitch felt harder than facing any defender. It wasn't a lack of talent that slowed his career. It was a level of pressure that no 17-year-old should ever have to carry. His honesty changed the conversation. Suddenly, people stopped asking, "What happened to Bojan?" and started asking, "What did football do to Bojan?" He spoke publicly about mental health. He shared his experiences through interviews and his book. And he became one of the first former elite footballers to explain what life is really like when expectations his own voice. And with that weight finally lifted, Bojan was ready to return to football in a completely different way. By 2026, Bojan Krkić is no longer chasing the career the world once imagined for him. Instead, he has found something far more valuable: peace. After retiring from professional football in 2023, Bojan returned to Barcelona in a new role, helping the club's football project and working closely with the next generation of young players. It is a fitting ending. The boy who once carried impossible expectations is now helping ensure others don't have to carry the same burden alone. He also continues to speak openly about mental health. Through interviews, conferences, and public appearances, Bojan has become an important voice for young athletes dealing with pressure, anxiety, and unrealistic expectations. His message is simple: talent needs protection, not just development. Today, when Barcelona introduces another teenage sensation to the world, Bojan's story is never far away. It serves as a reminder that every young player grows at a different pace, and no one should be forced to become the next Messi. Looking at him now, there is no frustration, no bitterness, only maturity. For the first time in his football journey, Bojan Krkić is no longer trying to live someone else's dream. He is finally living the next superstar, the next Pelé, the next Maradona, the next Cristiano Ronaldo, the next Lionel Messi. But Bojan Krkić's story reminds us why those words can be so dangerous. He wasn't remembered because he lacked talent. He wasn't forgotten because he stopped working. He became a symbol of what happens when the weight of expectation becomes heavier than the joy of playing the game. Today, every time a teenage sensation bursts onto the scene, people are far more careful with their comparisons. Because football finally understands something it didn't understand 20 years ago. Every player deserves the chance to write their own story, not someone else's. Bojan never became the next Messi, because no one ever could, and perhaps that was never the point. His greatest achievement wasn't breaking Barcelona's youth records, or becoming the club's youngest goal scorer. It was having the courage to speak honestly about a struggle that millions of people face but very few are willing to admit. In doing so, he helped change football itself. His career may never be remembered for Ballon d'Ors or Champions League trophies, but it will always be remembered for something even more important. He taught the football world that protecting a young player's mind can matter just as much as developing their talent. And maybe that is the legacy of possible burden again.